What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our Let's Play here on the Bedrock edition. Now, I did say at the beginning of the series that we wouldn't be building an AFK fisher, but as you can see here, this is most certainly not AFKable. This is where our passive and hostile mob farm is. I decided just to build like a little fishing pond up at our AFK spot, just for something to do while I'm sort of waiting for videos to render and whatnot. And while doing this, I've actually managed to build up, wrong chest, build up quite a decent bit of loot. So I'm getting like decent books out of it and getting loads of saddles, quite a few different bows, bunch of name tags. I'm getting the pufferfish, which are going to be handy for doing the water breathing potions, I believe it is, that you need them for. I'm running out of room in our fishing chest though. Now, I was planning on doing an Enderman farm, the preparation of doing the furnaces, and I don't want to throw the leather away, of doing like the furnaces and smelting all the purple to get ready to build an Enderman farm. But after spending many hours trying to figure out the spawning mechanics of the Enderman, it's just like sort of hit one of them points where to build an efficient Enderman farm requires an insane amount of magma blocks. Now, after getting stuck building about 4 different types of Enderman farm in a creative world, none of them seem to be producing Enderman at nearly an efficient rate until I looked into the spawning mechanics, which then led me to GruuvaGuy. Once again, his video saved me on the spawning mechanics, and I will put a link to the video that he done on it because he'll go into depth with it. But what I'll quickly show you is the sort of farm that we're going to have to build if we are going to build an Enderman farm. So as you can see, we're getting the Enderman now falling down, and it's not an insane sort of rate. But the type of farm, this is only a quarter of the farm that I would want to build. But the thing is that these Endermen will then carry on building up to the point where they reach the cap, which is 200. And the type of farm they is ridiculous. Now, in GruuvaGuys' video for this bit here, he's actually just used an Endermite. But I was testing out with the Endermites, and they were not, well, the Enderman wasn't aggroing on Endermites nearly as quickly as they should have been. So it was taking them a very long time to drop down into the drop chamber. Now these guys, well, these ones here will get stuck in the block. They'll start walking 1 or 2 blocks over, and they'll gradually just get knocked off down to the center. Now obviously the drop bit at the bottom you're going to want a lot further down. But the way that I built this was just sort of testing it out. Now the spawning mechanics of it is that you've got a density cap of a 9x9 chunk radius, where only, I think it's 16 mobs can spawn as cave mobs, and then I think it's 16 mobs can spawn as surface mobs. So if you was to build an Enderman farm within, say, a 3x3 chunk radius, the maximum amount of Enderman that you can have at any one point would be 32. Which means that this farm then has to branch off 4 chunks away from where your AFK spot is. So then this chunk here is still within the simulation range, but it's outside of the density cap that you are in there. So you're then relying on these massive spawning pads here, which will then force the Enderman to teleport down. They'll then teleport down to platforms, jumping chunk by chunk. All of this is completely chunk aligned. If I could get rid of that and bring up my maps. Yeah, so it's completely chunk aligned. So I do believe the one down there, the spawning platform, is in our left hand, and then the rest of the platforms are in our right hand. Now, what happens is that with this being outside of the chunk range, or not the chunk range, but the density cap of the 9x9 area around the AFK chunk, which means Enderman can spawn here, and as long as they're leaving this chunk here to travel towards the player, which they're being forced to do by the magma blocks, that then this platform section here can continue to spawn. Now, for this to be a really efficient farm, you would then have to have at least another one of these branching off this way. Now this side here alone, I sort of calculated it up. It was, I think it's like 3072 magma blocks that I would need, and that is just for one side. So if you double that, you're looking at over 6100 magma blocks, which would be, how many stacks would that be? That would be over 95 stacks of magma blocks, which I think is something like 2 double chests worth. And magma blocks aren't hard to find, but it's going to be a very grindy process trying to get them out of the nether safely. Which means for the time being, whilst I do that in between episodes in preparation of building the Enderman farm, is that I'm actually going to be working on something else. It's going to take me a little bit of time gathering that in survival. But as you can see, the sort of build up of Enderman, the rates are pretty good even with one side. Now GruuvaGuy on his video, he's done the exact same sort of platform layout. I've staggered my platforms a bit, and I've the drop chamber I've done is completely different. He uses the Endermine, which is a lot cheaper, but I found it to be a lot less reliable than using just the pressure plates with pistons. And as you can see, they sort of just gradually get pushed down to the center. So you can quite easily have another section over here doing the same thing. But yeah, we're going to have to put the Enderman farm on hold for this episode, I'm afraid, which is a little bit unfortunate. But whilst I spent many hours testing this out, this is the 5th Enderman farm I tried building, and this one is the only one that's actually worked, that's got more than 16 or 32 spawns. Now, what is that guy doing? What is he stuck on? Oh no, he was just waiting. Okay. But as you can see, yeah, the rates when you're standing here in like the sort of AFK chunk, the rates are fairly decent. And the thing about it is that they can't teleport back up to the pads up there because they are 17 blocks higher. And Enderman can teleport down a lot further than they can teleport up. I think they can teleport upwards a maximum of 16 blocks. So with it being 17 blocks higher, they can't actually teleport back up, which means their only option is to teleport downwards, which is pretty much the mechanic that we're using to make them come from the spawn area where we want them to be spawning all the way down to the center chunk, which is where we're going to be killing them. Yeah, so after many hours figuring this out, I then spent quite a few hours looking for normal spawners because I was dying to find a double XP spawner. Now, the way that I've done this, as you can see, I've got my standard Surviving Bedrock game here. I've got my backup of a copy of Surviving Bedrock, and then I've got my copy of Surviving Bedrock, which is in creative. Now, you may think of this as being a little bit cheaty, but the amount of time that I still had to put in to doing this to be able to find what I was looking for was extremely long and tedious. That I think it was around about a good 4 hours I spent looking. But I've been using an X-ray glitch. Now it's a lot easier to do in creative because you won't take suffocation damage. All that you do is that you just put a couple of gravel blocks above your head. You go into third person view and then you can sort of see if the cave, you can sort of see if the words, come on. You can sort of see the cave systems like around your character. So yeah. But if you drink the night vision and invisibility potions, obviously it makes it a lot easier. So if you didn't know about an X-ray glitch, this is one that you could definitely use. You can use it in survival, but you tend to take a lot of damage and you can't look around that easily in survival because you're then worried about your health. But yeah, I've spent, as you can see by my coordinates alone at the moment, I'm a good, it would be 5,000 blocks away from my spawn area. And I've come across lots of things. There's like ridiculous amounts of villages and ocean monuments. I've not managed to find any woodland mansions yet, though I've not randomly come across any yet. But without further ado, what I'm going to do is take you over to what I found in my actual world. This is what I finally managed to find after looking for ridiculous amounts of hours, is a double mob spawner. But not only a double mob spawner, which are both zombies, we've actually got a third spawner, which is over there, which is a spider spawner. Now, I'm not too sure if I'm going to bother doing anything with the spider spawner, but as for our current XP situation, I think a double mob spawner, especially zombies, they're extremely easy to handle and to sort of chauffeur or sherpa to wherever it is that you want them to drop to. They're easy enough to drop down to very low health. They're very quickly to spawn, and they're very easy to kill with potions of healing. And the spiders, I'm not too sure, but by standing on this spot here, and I do believe not that spot there, but it's any one of these 3 spots that all 3 of the spawners are actually active. But if we want just these 2 active, we can be anywhere around this area really. Anywhere within 16 block, I think, is it 16 block or 8 block radius of the spawner? That one's off. Nice one. So how many blocks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15. Yeah, it's within 16 blocks radius of the spawner that they'll be active. So anywhere within this sort of little area here that all 3 of them will be active. So I may just create a killing chamber for the spiders and just kill them off with like cactus or something. But for the time being, I'll probably just keep that one lit up to keep it inactive and just have these 2 running for the time being. And that is going to be our project for today, is to actually get a double mob spawner. Now, I've not actually gone through these chests. Saddle, some armor, iron, gunpowder, saddle, more gunpowder, music disc, cap, which is one that we've already got, anything over here that's decent, and more horse armor, horse saddle. So we've got enough saddles and horse armor to cover us now then for all the horses and stuff that we've got back at base. But what I thought we could do for this project is a 3rd-person time lapse. Hopefully it will come out alright, because I have to try to find somewhere to put my sort of other character to do the recording with, and it's got to be somewhere within a relatively safe location that it's going to be able to capture most of the work getting done. But obviously I'll have to move him around a bit during the time lapse. But yeah, that's what we're going to crack out and do today, is get a double mob spawner on the go. Now, I've got a ton of resources, so I've got the complete setup for a brand new enchanting area, and I've got the bookshelves enchanting, lapis, diamonds for tools. I've also got an absolute ton of acacia wood, and that is for doing the signs. We've got ice for the water streams. We've got soul sand, netherwort, gunpowder, melon. We should have a stack of gold. Yep, gold's there as well for making splash potions of healing. We've got a brewing stand, we've got blazing rods, we've got pretty much the whole kit and caboodle to get a fully operational double mob spawner. Now, because it is pretty far, we are now about 3,500 blocks away from our spawn area, and even travelling in the nether tunnels is still a good 150 to 200 blocks away. So travelling back and forth is a bit of a nightmare, so I'd prefer to have the whole sort of system up and running around here. So I'm going to get on and crack this out, because I've been procrastinating for far too long now, as you saw by the amount of fishing loot that I ended up getting. I was sort of waiting to record, and then I was just putting it off because I don't know, I was just being lazy today, and I was enjoying watching my programs. But yeah, I'm sort of in the mood now to start working on this, and I really want a fairly decent XP spawner, considering the Enderman spawner is a little bit out of our price range, or yeah, pretty much out of our price range as it is at the moment. As you can see, I sort of tunneled my way in from the surface up that way to find the actual double mob spawner as well. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the 3rd-person time lapse. Hopefully it comes out alright, and I'll talk to you after. Alright, hopefully you guys like that little short, well, not too sure if it's going to be a short time lapse or a long time lapse yet. I haven't really edited any of the videoing down, but I thought I'd bring you back for the breaking of the torches to see how well this actually goes. But in order to do that, I should really get some random blocks on us, just so that we can pillar in and out of here quite easily. Now, I did manage to actually throw away my mending and efficiency 5 fortune pick, so I did have a backup already in my ender chest, which I've now had to take out because I accidentally threw it away when I was building the water elevator. Now, the mob spawner itself it goes down to a 3 wide, and then obviously you've got this section here where the lava is. And as I was placing the signs, I was spamming B to get out of the writing sign thing, and I was over my pickaxe, spammed B, it went down into the water and then into the lava. So yeah, one pickaxe down, but it's just one victim of creating this mob spawner. So let me see the best way of doing this. I'm fairly sure as soon as I start breaking these ones down here, zombies are going to start spawning. Let's get rid of you. You. We should be alright until we go up top anyway. I'm hoping anyway. Let's get rid of all of you. Like so. Okay, didn't really think this through when I was placing all of the torches. Okay, well, we should be able to break all of the torches from this point onwards. So if we get rid of that one, that one, that one, that one, all of these blocks. I'm hoping the light source coming from the lava shouldn't affect the spawn rates at all. It's fairly low down, and I think it's like, what is it, 14 light from lava? So yeah, that's well away then, 14 blocks, so it should be fine. Oh, straight away. Probably pillar around from the other side there. Now what I mean from the little lava blade at the bottom, where we've got the baby zombie there, that baby zombie shouldn't get stuck anywhere and it shouldn't build up at the bottom. He would then just drop into the lava and then die. Which is what he should do. Yeah, he's dying. That's the one problem that you usually have with these spawners with the zombie ones, is the babies tend to clog up the system. Now I do eventually want to create a way of turning this mob spawner off, so I'm going to have to dig out the ceiling above and actually place some redstone lamps, just in order to turn it off and on. I'm a little bit worried that as soon as I knock this last torch off, they're going to spawn on this dirt sort of pillar thing. Whoa, yep, and that's exactly what happened. Well, I predicted it. Get lost. Okay, I think that's all of the torches out now. I don't see this ladder being an issue if I just leave it there. Yeah, it should be fine. Let me grab some stone. Block that up. Yeah, these guys are all just too tall. Now I've got some hopper mine carts underneath the half slabs, which lead to this double chest here. Now I do actually want to dig out an area underneath to do a sorting system, just to funnel out all of the rotten flesh from the other items and then be able to smelt up all the armour. Over here, as you saw, we built our little brewing setup, so we've got some nether warts growing here. We've got our melon, well yeah, our melons are going to be growing just there once they're grown. We smelted up a bunch of gold in order to make the glistening melon for the splash potions. We've got some glass nether warts and melons and gunpowder in here. And this is where we're just going to store all of our splash potions. because both of the spawners should be active from this point. Now I've done it 3 wide just to avoid the zombies sort of clogging up in a 1 wide gap. So I've done a 3 wide elevator leading down to a 3 wide gap here, which means the rate should be fairly decent as long as both of the spawners are active. And the spawners, them two, should both be active from anywhere around, oh really? Around this area here. I really should put in some sort of safety barrier. Stupid zombie. I'm gonna have to get another melon. There we go. I don't know why the seed didn't pop up. Now what I was thinking with this ground, what I did actually want to do is actually make it all into grass pathway blocks, but then I'll have to change out the leaves for a different colour because, as you can see, the leaves don't really match it when you do just all grass pathway blocks. But I wanted it because I think with it all done like this, it would match in with the wood a lot better. If we just go around, let's say if we just do one half of it just to see how it looks. Get rid of all of you. Just so it's got that sort of savanna sort of feel to it. Because the wood itself is like grey and it looks like it's all run down. So I think if we have the grass pathway blocks instead of very bright green grass, it may actually match the area a little bit better. I don't know what biome we're in, by the way, but whatever biome it is has very, very bright grass. Yeah, so I do like that. Or do you think we should stick with the green grass? Definitely gonna have to change out the leaf blocks though. And I don't know what leaves are a darker shade. Is there any darker shade? Apart from, I think birch leaves might be a little bit darker. I'm not 100% sure. Or we could probably raise the lanterns or pumpkins. I ran out of pumpkins, so I started using just glowstone. If we raise them, just put like carpets above them, maybe. Or we could just have like lights coming from the ceiling, which is another option. Like I've got lights coming from the back of the bookcases here. Also got my books and my lapis just sitting behind our enchanting table. I've got a light hidden up there above the melons, one there, a couple up there, and I've just been using the acacia because I've not really used the acacia for any builds yet. But I am liking the look of the grass pathway blocks all over. But I definitely need to decide what I want to do with the leaf blocks. Because they are well hidden when it's within the actual grass area, but obviously here it doesn't look right. A little bit difficult. But the rates of it is pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them build up and I'm going to brew up some potions and I'll show you the sort of point where I wait for it to get to, because you'll see our frames drop down to around about 10, maybe 15 frames per second when they build up enough. So yeah, I'll bring you back for the first sort of killing. Alright then guys, it's been about 5 or 10 minutes now, and as you can see our frame rate has dropped quite a bit now. I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but I'm only getting probably around about 20 or 30 FPS when I'm turning side to side, and that's because just the sheer amount of zombies that sort of built up. I did switch out all of the grass pathway blocks. I changed all the grass to grass pathway blocks, and I'm fairly sure that the grass pathway blocks are acting as transparent blocks, which I'm not sure if that's just like a lighting glitch or if they are actually transparent. So say if we were to break this block here where it's a little bit dark, and let's just say break you, and then Put some glowstone down there. So you see how that area sort of lights up? Put it back and it's still lit up. Now I'm not sure if that's just a lighting glitch and that area is not actually lit, or if grass pathway blocks are actually transparent blocks. I'm starting to think they're actually transparent blocks because I swapped out all of the leaves and it's still all pretty lit up, and I like the colour. Now I couldn't do the grass pathway blocks around this little edge bit here purely because of the trapdoors. Whenever I done a grass pathway block, if I done one next to it, it would update that block saying there's something above it and it would change it into dirt. So I've just done smooth stone going around the edge there, and we can actually start getting rid of these guys now. So we've got a slash potion of healing. They should all be down low enough, so it should only take one to take them all out. So we're going to step back, throw it, go to our looting sword. It will get rid of most of them, switch back to our silk touch sword, well, silk touch pickaxe, and that repaired it completely in one go. And as you can see, all of the stuff sort of flown out everywhere, but we've still got quite a few zombies left there. So let's grab another one. Let's get a little bit closer, switch over, there we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. Fully repaired our silk touch pickaxe, and that was like down to sort of orange red level, and it's given us an extra 4 levels on top, so happy days. But I think I may need to sort out our collection system, because I think just the sheer amount of items was just a little bit too much for it to handle then. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Inventory full. Let's put on our armor. I take off my armor when I'm repairing my tools, obviously. I think I said it before in a video where the XP ores will automatically try to go to a piece of armor. If the armor's fully repaired, it will then just go to your level, preventing you from actually repairing your tools. So for now, we're just going to get rid of all of this chunky armor. Fire protection. In my other mob spawner, I've actually got a full set of every type of armor down there now on the armor stands in each corner. And I still do have to go there because it's a lot closer to my base than this place is. And that's where our villager breeder is. So each time I need some new villagers, I usually go over there. And I usually AFK over there for a bit, usually when I'm editing videos and whatnot. Let's just throw away all of this garbage. I'm surprised that the hopper minecarts didn't pick them all up, because they tend to pick up items very quickly. But it's probably just from the sheer amount of them that came flying out. Yeah, so like we got 5 bits of iron from that as well. Get rid of that acacia wood. I need to sort out this chest a bit, so we'll leave first 2 slots for that. Second 2 slots for potatoes. And then we should have carrots. Oh, I said carrots. Thank you. And then we want to grab all of this stuff out. Throw the rotten flesh in. And then the rotten flesh, what I'll end up doing is taking that back with me to trade with our clerics to get some more glowstone. It's a lot easier getting glowstone that way than it is trying to go to the nether and harvest it. So yeah, happy days. Let me know what you think about the grass pathway blocks, or if you think I should just keep it as grass. I still need to do something with the ceiling, and I still need to put in our auto storage system. But I'll do that in between this episode and the next one. But I'm quite happy to get this sort of XP farm spawner type thing done, because having... Really? Get lost. I've got to go around there and sort out all of the chests as well. I'm quite happy to have another XP source now. A double spawner is going to be double as quick as our single spawner, so when I need to repair tools and whatnot, it's going to be a lot easier to come over here. Now I'm probably going to spend a bit of time over here while I'm editing this video, and I'm just going to be enchanting just a bunch of books really. Let me quickly start throwing away the rest of this armor. Now while I'm over here, I'll probably end up building the item sorter, just so it's a lot easier to go through all of this armor and whatnot. Get rid of you. Oh my god, there's so much garbage that comes off these guys. Yeah, because usually I smelt down the iron and gold stuff just to get the nuggets. The iron I'm not too concerned about, but the gold nuggets is what I use to make the glistening melon. which means that will be the gold sorted out for our smelting operation. The only thing that we're not automatically getting is obviously the glass for the glass bottles and the gunpowder, which is from creepers, but we get that from our hostile and passive mob farm. Let's see what enchant we get on the book. Restoration 3, Luck of the Sea 3, and Fire Aspect 2. It's not too bad. Have we got enough? Yeah, so we have Flame 1 and Loyalty 3. We've got quite a few different books for enchantments for the Trident. Yeah, that's what it's called. For the Tridents already. So as soon as they're added to the game for us to be able to access them in survival, we'll be all ready to go with them. Now, the bunch of chests here, I'm just going to be putting the signs on saying what enchants are in them. This is what I've done in my old mob spawner as well, just so that way if I need certain books I just come down here and grab them. I may do a little area for fishing as well up this way. Actually, I need it to be within the reach of the spawners, so I may do it down there in that corner and then dig out a tunnel going all the way to the surface, so then it's got sky access. We've got a couple of blocks over there as well, so, and grass blocks, so if we get rid of you, see, it goes dark and then it goes bright again, see? So yeah, I'm definitely thinking the grass pathway blocks are transparent, otherwise that wouldn't happen. I'm quite happy that they are. I've still got to do the rest over here, go through all of these chests, but I'm not going to bother doing that until I've done the sorting system. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. We've got quite a lot done actually, and this farm didn't take me nearly as long as I thought it would do. But I've still got the spider spawner sitting behind there. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it. I may actually end up taking them up to the top and then probably killing them somewhere in the ceiling with some glass ceiling. Sorry about that. It's quite early because it's actually the following day from when I actually started recording this episode. I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. Yeah, so what I might do with the spiders is take them up and drop them down into the ceiling to be killed, so then we've got something going on above us. So I really don't know what to do with the ceiling otherwise. But yeah, I'm just going to probably do little bits and pieces around here in between episodes, and I'll show you at the beginning of the next episode the changes that I've made. But once again, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.